Have you ever felt him pulling away, leaving you confused and questioning everything you thought you knew about love? You're not alone. Across the world, countless men are quietly stepping back from relationships, not because they don't care, but because unseen pressures, fears, and unmet needs are silently shaping their decisions. Understanding why this happens could be the key to saving your relationship before it slips away. In today's fast-paced world, understanding the modern man is crucial to comprehending why many are walking away from relationships. Men face pressures that are both visible and invisible, shaping how they view commitment, intimacy, and emotional vulnerability. From a young age, societal expectations often teach men to suppress emotions, prioritize financial success, and maintain an image of strength and independence. These messages can make it difficult for them to navigate the complex emotional terrain of a serious relationship. Career demands, social responsibilities, and the constant comparison to peers or societal standards add layers of stress that many men carry silently. They may feel torn between pursuing personal ambitions and nurturing a relationship, leading to an internal conflict that is often misunderstood by their partners. Modern relationships require more than love. They demand communication, emotional intelligence, and the ability to balance individual needs with shared goals. For some men, the perceived inability to meet these expectations can become overwhelming, prompting withdrawal rather than confrontation. Additionally, cultural shifts have changed the dating landscape, introducing new norms, behaviors, and opportunities that influence how men approach relationships. The rise of technology and social media, along with exposure to different lifestyles, creates both opportunity and uncertainty, making commitment seem riskier. Understanding these pressures is not about excusing withdrawal but about recognizing the complexities that men face. By acknowledging the emotional, social, and psychological factors at play, it becomes possible to approach relationships with empathy and insight. This perspective lays the foundation for exploring why men may choose to step away, highlighting that their decisions are often rooted in a combination of personal struggles, societal expectations, and the evolving nature of modern connection. Fear of commitment is one of the most common reasons men step away from relationships, yet it is often misunderstood. For many men, commitment does not simply mean being faithful or staying in a relationship. It symbolizes a deep emotional investment and a lifelong responsibility that can feel daunting. Past experiences, such as heartbreak, betrayal, or witnessing failed relationships in their family or social circle, often leave lasting impressions that shape their perception of commitment. These experiences can make men hesitant to fully trust and open up, fearing the pain that might come with vulnerability. Additionally, commitment can feel like a restriction on personal freedom, particularly for those who highly value independence or are still exploring their identity and life goals. The idea of merging lives, finances, and futures can seem overwhelming, leading to subconscious withdrawal. Social and cultural expectations also play a role. Men are often expected to be providers, protectors, and decision-makers, which can add pressure and make the stakes of commitment feel higher than they actually are. In a modern context, where dating options are abundant and instant gratification is normalized, some men may struggle to reconcile the long-term effort required for a committed relationship with the temptation of easier, less demanding alternatives. Fear of commitment is rarely about a lack of love or attraction. More often, it reflects anxiety, insecurity, or uncertainty about one's ability to meet the expectations of a partner and of society. Understanding this fear allows partners to approach men with empathy and patience, creating a safer space for dialogue and connection rather than pushing or pressuring, which could unintentionally reinforce the very fear that drives them away. Communication breakdown is a silent yet powerful force that can push men away from relationships. Men and women often have different ways of expressing emotions and processing conflicts, which can lead to misunderstandings that gradually erode intimacy. Men, in particular, are sometimes socialized to internalize their feelings rather than voice them, which can make it difficult for them to articulate frustrations, fears, or needs. When emotions are not communicated clearly, small issues can grow into larger conflicts, leaving men feeling unheard, unappreciated, or misunderstood. On the other hand, partners may interpret this silence as indifference or lack of care, creating a feedback loop of frustration and emotional distance. Misaligned expectations also contribute to communication gaps. Many men are drawn to relationships with a sense of partnership and shared goals, but when they encounter constant criticism, nagging, or emotional volatility, they may perceive the relationship as a source of stress rather than support. Additionally, technology has introduced new challenges to communication. Text messages, social media interactions, and misread tones can create confusion or false assumptions that strain trust. Emotional intelligence plays a key role in bridging these gaps, but it is not always innate and often requires conscious effort from both partners. Without a safe space to openly express concerns, men may gradually retreat to protect themselves from perceived judgment or conflict. Understanding these dynamics is essential for maintaining connection and fostering intimacy. By recognizing the unique pressures men face in communicating, partners can cultivate patience, empathy, and clearer dialogue, reducing misunderstandings and creating a stronger foundation for lasting relationships, rather than allowing miscommunication to quietly drive them away. The influence of technology and social media on modern relationships cannot be underestimated, and it plays a significant role in why some men walk away. In today's world, dating apps, social platforms, and instant messaging have completely transformed how men interact, pursue connections, and perceive commitment. On one hand, these tools offer unprecedented opportunities to meet new people, explore options, and maintain contact, but on the other, they create a culture of instant gratification and constant comparison that can be overwhelming. Men may find themselves evaluating relationships not just by emotional connection, but also by convenience, appearances, or the fear of missing out on something better. Social media can amplify insecurities, create unrealistic expectations, and make emotional investment feel riskier. The constant exposure to others' seemingly perfect relationships can lead men to doubt their own choices, fostering hesitation or withdrawal. Additionally, online communication often lacks nuance and emotional depth, which can result in misinterpretation and conflict. A casual text or an unclear tone may spark unnecessary tension, making men reluctant to fully engage emotionally. Technology also introduces the temptation of distraction. A notification, chat, or online interaction can pull attention away from nurturing a committed partnership. For men who are already navigating pressures from work, family, or personal goals, these distractions can make relationships feel like an additional burden rather than a source of support. Understanding how technology shapes behavior and perception is crucial to addressing why men sometimes distance themselves. By creating clear communication, realistic expectations, and balanced boundaries around digital interactions, couples can mitigate misunderstandings and reduce the likelihood of men feeling compelled to step away, fostering healthier, more resilient connections. Emotional burnout and stress are powerful, often overlooked reasons why men may distance themselves from relationships. In modern life, men face numerous pressures, from demanding careers and financial responsibilities to family obligations and societal expectations of strength and resilience. Over time, these burdens can accumulate, leaving men emotionally exhausted and less capable of investing fully in a relationship. Unlike physical fatigue, emotional burnout can be invisible, quietly affecting their mood, patience, and ability to communicate effectively. For many men, withdrawing from a relationship becomes a coping mechanism, a way to regain a sense of control and preserve mental well-being. Emotional stress can also heighten feelings of inadequacy, particularly when men feel they cannot meet the expectations of their partner, themselves, or society. When every interaction feels like a test of patience or competence, the relationship can start to feel like an additional source of pressure rather than support. Furthermore, modern men often face a paradox. They are expected to be emotionally available while simultaneously maintaining independence and providing stability. Balancing these expectations can be overwhelming, and without proper support or understanding from their partner, withdrawal may seem like the easiest solution. Mental health concerns, such as anxiety or depression, can further amplify these challenges, making emotional engagement feel exhausting or even impossible at times. Recognizing the impact of burnout and stress is crucial for both partners. By fostering empathy, encouraging open dialogue, and supporting healthy coping strategies, couples can help men feel less burdened and more capable of participating fully in the relationship. Addressing these pressures proactively can reduce the likelihood of emotional withdrawal and strengthen the bond between partners, creating a space where men feel safe, understood, and valued rather than compelled to step away. Past trauma and emotional baggage often play a significant role in why men walk away from relationships. Experiences from childhood, adolescence, or previous romantic relationships can leave deep emotional scars that influence how men perceive love, trust, and commitment. A man who has been hurt, abandoned, or betrayed may carry fear and suspicion into future relationships, even if the current partner has done nothing to cause harm. These unresolved emotions can manifest as avoidance, emotional withdrawal, or difficulty in expressing vulnerability. Childhood experiences, such as growing up in a home with conflict, neglect, or unstable parental relationships, can shape a man's understanding of intimacy and attachment. If he learned early on that emotional expression is unsafe or that love comes with conditions, he may struggle to trust fully and may unconsciously keep partners at a distance to protect himself. Additionally, previous failed relationships can compound these fears, making men cautious about committing again. They may overanalyze potential red flags, fear repeating past mistakes, or assume that pain is inevitable. Even when a man genuinely cares, emotional baggage can interfere with his ability to engage wholeheartedly, leaving partners feeling confused or rejected. Understanding this perspective is essential for fostering empathy and patience. It is not about excusing avoidance, but recognizing that men's behaviors often stem from unresolved wounds rather than a lack of affection. Healing takes time, self-awareness, and sometimes professional guidance, but when addressed, it allows men to form healthier, more secure connections. By acknowledging the impact of trauma and emotional history, couples can create a supportive environment where men feel safe to lower their guard, communicate openly, and build trust, reducing the likelihood of walking away due to past pain. The role of independence and personal identity is a critical factor in why some men step away from relationships. Many men deeply value their sense of self, freedom, and autonomy, and when they perceive that a relationship threatens these aspects of their lives, they may retreat. Maintaining independence is not about selfishness, it is often about preserving mental and emotional balance. Men may fear that committing fully will mean losing control over their choices, personal routines, or long-held dreams. This fear can be amplified if the relationship moves too quickly or demands merging lives in ways that feel overwhelming. Identity also plays a central role. Men are constantly navigating their own sense of purpose, career goals, hobbies, and personal growth. A partner's expectations, even when well-intentioned, can sometimes feel like pressure to compromise these elements of self. If they sense that their individuality is being undermined, withdrawal may feel like the only way to reclaim control and maintain authenticity. Independence is also intertwined with the fear of dependence. Some men worry that relying too heavily on a partner may create vulnerability they are unprepared to handle. The modern world further complicates this dynamic, as men are encouraged to balance ambition, emotional availability, and relationship responsibilities simultaneously. Finding this balance can be exhausting, and without patience and understanding from a partner, stepping away may appear to be the easiest solution. Recognizing the importance of personal identity and independence allows couples to navigate these challenges more effectively. By fostering mutual respect, allowing space for individual growth, and supporting each other's goals, relationships can thrive without compromising the autonomy that men value so deeply, reducing the likelihood of emotional withdrawal. Red flags and deal breakers are often pivotal in why men decide to walk away from relationships. While love and attraction may exist, certain behaviors or patterns can create discomfort, tension, or a sense of incompatibility that becomes difficult to ignore. For many men, repeated criticism, constant nagging, or a lack of respect can quickly erode their emotional investment. Feeling undervalued or misunderstood can lead to withdrawal, as they may perceive that staying in the relationship will only exacerbate stress and conflict. Deal breakers can also include controlling behavior, dishonesty, or manipulation, which threaten trust and create an environment of insecurity. Men are more likely to leave when they sense a persistent imbalance, where their efforts, care, or contributions are not equally reciprocated. Emotional incompatibility can also be a significant factor. Differences in communication styles, emotional needs, or life priorities may make connection feel frustrating or unattainable. Additionally, unresolved conflicts or chronic negativity can weigh heavily on men, making the relationship feel more like an obligation than a partnership. Societal expectations and personal values often shape what men consider unacceptable. For instance, infidelity, lack of ambition, or disrespect for personal boundaries can quickly trigger disengagement. Recognizing these red flags is crucial for understanding their decision to step back. It is rarely about rejecting love entirely, but rather about preserving emotional health and seeking a relationship aligned with personal values and long-term goals. Awareness of these deal breakers provides both partners with insight into potential friction points. By addressing issues proactively, fostering mutual respect, and creating open channels of communication, couples can prevent men from feeling compelled to leave, strengthening the relationship and building a foundation of trust and compatibility. Healing, growth, and building stronger connections are essential for preventing men from walking away from relationships and fostering lasting bonds. Understanding the reasons behind withdrawal is only the first step. Actively creating an environment of trust, empathy, and emotional safety is what allows relationships to thrive. Both partners play a role in this process, beginning with self-awareness. Men benefit from opportunities to explore their emotions, confront past trauma, and communicate openly without fear of judgment, while partners can work on patience, active listening, and recognizing the pressures men face. Mutual growth also involves establishing healthy boundaries, balancing independence with togetherness, and respecting each other's personal goals and identities. Trust building is crucial. Small consistent actions, honesty, and reliability help men feel secure in committing fully. Emotional connection thrives when both partners invest in quality time, shared experiences, and open conversations that deepen understanding. Conflict management is another key component. Addressing disagreements with empathy rather than blame allows men to engage without fear of rejection or constant criticism. Additionally, cultivating a supportive environment that encourages vulnerability and emotional expression reduces the need for withdrawal as a coping mechanism. Self-improvement, whether through personal hobbies, career development, or mental health care, benefits both partners and strengthens the relationship as a whole. Healing also requires patience, as past wounds or fears do not disappear overnight. Over time, however, consistent effort, understanding, and mutual respect create a resilient foundation. By prioritizing emotional safety, growth, and communication, couples can transform challenges into opportunities for deeper connection, ensuring that men feel valued, understood, and motivated to stay, ultimately fostering relationships built on trust, love, and long-term commitment.